Howdy y'all, it's Mark from Camping Forage, and today I'm going to review the River Country Trekker 2.2 trekking pole backpacking tent. All right, as you can see, I've got the tent set up. I'm technically car camping this weekend, but I'm testing out gear for an upcoming backpacking trip. I've had this particular tent for a year or so now. I've used it several times. And really do enjoy this tent. So as you can see, it doesn't have traditional tent poles. Instead, we're using my trekking poles to hold the tent up. You could also tie this off to a tree if you want, but as I've said before, I'm camping and backpacking through Texas. We don't always have a lot of trees to connect to or tie off to. We're often either in arid areas like semi-desert or prairie like I am here. We're often where we're camping is just cleared off land. As one of my friends says, we're camping in a cow pasture. Now I'm camping at a friend's property, so he does have some trees around that I technically could go and find a place to tie off into. Unfortunately, his property also has a lot of poison ivy, so I tend to stick into his mowed areas. But anyway, the great thing about this tent is, so like I said, from a backpacking perspective, you save a couple of pounds because there's no tent poles to deal with. You're just using your trekking poles. Then the other weight would come from is your stakes, and you know, there are a lot of lightweight stakes out there. So what you do is you put your trekking poles in, you stake it out down here, then you put in your other stakes, and you also know there are a couple of tie outs out here, which is important because while this tent looks like a single walled one-piece tent, the construction of it is designed so that it acts and feels inside like a double walled tent with a separate bug net, no-seam net interior, and then with a Rainfly. But it makes it nice because you don't have to worry about taking a separate Rainfly or and attaching it and all that kind of stuff. It just one piece folds up, packs up nicely. Like I said, also this tent is priced very competitively. So like I said, I really love this tent, and I would say the next thing you're probably wondering about is, what does the interior look like? So like I said, we'll cut to next showing the interior. But keep in mind when you're looking at it, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, and I fit into this tent without a problem. This is my, I have a couple other two-person tents. I feel like I have the most space in this tent. So I really can't talk high enough about how much I love this tent. All right, so we're going to continue with our tour of the River Country Trekker 2.2 tent. Like I said, you can see we have the no-seam bug netting here. It's just already attached like a traditional double wall tent. Then it has the Rainfly is pre-attached, but as you can see, when you extend the tie outs, it's acting like your traditional double walled tent. And so I've not had any problems with condensation, and it's handled the rainstorms I've been in with it brilliantly. Really love this tent all the way around. Again, let's talk about space. So what I've done is I have my Big Angus XL sleeping pad inflated. That's what I normally sleep on. And then for comparison purposes, I took my Secret hard sleeping pad and put next to it just for comparison. So you see, you technically could fit two people side by side in here, but as with all two-person tents, that means two people sleeping side by side, but your gear would not be in the tent. So typically what we mean, we say two-person tents, we mean one person plus their gear. So, all right, if you're looking for a new backpacking tent, I really give you can't say enough good things about this tent. You should check it out. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
As I was saying about the River Country tent being a two or double walled tent, just already pre-constructed or pre-connected with the Rainfly pre-attached. I'm recording this after waking up after camping and having a little rain and realizing you can very clearly to see the bug netting separate from the Rainfly on the tent. And while you can see some raindrops, those are on the Rainfly. It's not wet at all in my tent.
By dumb luck, after I finished recording my first video reviewing this tent, I had to go on a work trip. As a result, I had to delay finishing producing the video, and that meant I got a chance to go camping again. And this second camping trip, it got cold on us. We had a Texas 50-degree temperature drop in 24 hours, which meant two things for this tent. One, I got to put it through its paces in a 30-mile-per-hour sustained wind storm. Tent came through awesome, no problems. I was concerned with just being trekking poles, but it did really well. The second thing is we dropped down below freezing, and the tent was surprisingly warm. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that it's a very small tent. So there's not a lot of air to, you have to heat up, and as a result, just moving around the tent, my body heat was able to, the tent kept it intact, didn't let the heat escape, and so it was very warm. I was able to take off a couple of my layers that I had on. Went to sleep initially with just a long sleeve Under Armour t-shirt and my trousers and wool socks. I was warm enough. I considered even going barefoot, but I was afraid that if I slipped off the sleeping pad, my feet would hit the cold ground really quickly and wake me up. So I wanted the socks on anyway. And I slept 2 or 3 hours in the 30s with just a wool blanket on top of my sleeping pad. And then I think about 3 o'clock in the morning, I rolled over and grabbed my sleeping bag and pulled it on top of me. But anyway, this tent did a phenomenal job in the wind and the cold. Fortunately, because I was too busy getting my cold weather gear out in a hurry, I forgot to get the camera out and start recording video. So that's why you're going to see some beautiful stock footage here. But I just want to let you know that this tent did a really good job with the wind and also the cold.